still absolutely miles out. Oh my god, I'm crap beyond belief. It ain't gonna be perfect. It'll be written on my tombstone. Nice and plumb. Shame it's in the wrong place. What an absolute sloppy mess. Welcome back. So I've been working for about half an hour, and not even that actually, but 15 minutes. I've got this hole down to the depth that I need now. So hopefully you can see right down to the bottom there. I've got an extra few hundred mil. And pretty much where the tape is now is the 2.4, that's the length of the post. So this section of retaining wall will be up to about here. So we'll see this gradual sort of step down up to about there, level across. That'll be pretty bloody good. And I'm happy that's nice and deep, because obviously with that post I couldn't get that one anywhere near as deep as I wanted to, but it survived. Hopefully it will survive. Okay, let's get on to hole number 2. That seemed to go quite a bit easier than the others, so I'm going to get some of these little rocks out of here and get this hole finished. Right, we have hole number 2 down to depth, and unfortunately cost me a tooth. I have, or should have had, one of those on it, but yep, unfortunately that one came off. Luckily it's not broken the back end of this. I noticed these are actually a lot beefier than the one I had before, but yeah, that's pretty disappointing. But when you see what I'm trying to dig through here, I mean, look at that rock, and that's a socket in rock. I'm not using a rock auger. Maybe should do, but most of the holes I've put in here haven't been like this. In the future we'll be doing retaining walls above where the house will go, and I'm going to invest in a rock auger for that, because I think I'm going to hit a lot of rock up there. But right, for now I'm going to go get the second post, drop it in. I've got a lot of misalignment between these two holes, just as with the other ones. There's not a lot of option, to be honest. Once you start augering, the auger bit bounces all over the place, hitting rocks and little boulders, and it ends up where it ends up, to be honest. I've tried steering it and it's not that I'm not that good. Let's show you what I mean. Okay, so we are stood in line there with the retaining wall. We'll bring down, so that hole, obviously that post is leant right over, so that post would be stood up here, and this hole is centre line there. So I'm going to go drop the posts in and kind of work out what to do. There's a little bit of wriggle room, but it's certainly not going to be in line, not a chance. Okay, I've been playing about with the furthest hole. I managed to move it in that way, 100 mil, maybe a little bit more. I'll show you the rock that I had to pull out that was stopping me. I had to pull that out from the bottom of the hole. As you can see with that shape there, that's where the auger was biting away on it. The rest of this was buried, so the hole was here. Quite a lump. took some digging, and then when you finally get it free, obviously it's stuck at the bottom of the hole. So then you've got a bit of a struggle to get it out. But anyway, we've done it. Leaving it here because I may be using it back in the hole. Once I put a few bags of concrete in, I may actually drop that big rock in there to sort of fill this up, otherwise I'm going to be having a lot of bags of concrete in here. Right, well I've put some water in the hole, I've got the bags of concrete behind me, so let's start filling this hole up. So as you can see, by moving that rock, I was able to get the post that way quite a bit. So I'm going to put a couple of bags of concrete in, kind of get a little bit of concrete around the base, and then we'll put a few rocks in, and rocks, concrete, get it filled up. Well, it's not easy to get this one aligned, because it's touching rocks in a few places. As soon as you start moving one axis, it moves another one. So I've actually come off the line quite a bit here, but that's going to have to be how it is, I think. Okay, there we have post number 1 set. Couldn't fit that big block in really part way down, it just wasn't going to fit, allow me to adjust, so I just dropped it in the wet concrete on the top there. Right, so that post is perfectly plumb. Now we look at post number 2. So the hole for that, I've had a little play with it. There's absolutely no way that I can push that hole that way. Down at the bottom there, that last 500-600 mil is solid rock. That's a socket in the rock. Might be fractured rock, but I've tried hitting it with a pry bar and chiseling a little bit out. If you can see there, that ain't going to happen. So I think we'll do the same as what we did on the other side. Do the same scenario. So that post being on the outside and this post being on the inside. And hey, we'll just make it work. That's the main part of this. It just needs to be functional. I'd love for it to look neat, but it's not going to, is it? It's going to look all right, but it's not going to be perfect and all nice and aligned. Like the retaining wall up near the shed, that one's very nice. But nah, it's just too hard here with all the rocks and everything. Right, let's go get some more bags of concrete, and when we get this second post set. Right, we've got the bags of concrete. Not sure why 2 of them are down there. Anyway, right, tell you what, I don't think I could stuff this up any worse even if I tried. I brought in a beam, follow that beam along. Look at the bloody gap, holy cow. So even though I've managed to do this post that way, it's still absolutely miles out. Oh my god, I'm crap beyond belief. Right, well, it's very simple. We'll end up with that beam twisted in relation to this post, and it'll sit in the middle. I'll make it work. It ain't going to be perfect. I think that's going to be the story of my life, that it ain't going to be perfect. It'll be written on my tombstone. Right, let's get the concrete in, get this thing set, and I'm going to come back next weekend or weekend after. We can get all the beams in. Right, let's go get a little bit more water, get in the hole, get this thing set, and move on to the next thing. It's nice and up and down. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to angle that angle a little, just so that it's twisted over to try and accept that the wooden beam when it comes. They say they're this pre-mixed concrete requires no mixing. I've never found that to be the case. You just end up with massive pockets of dry stuff, so usually give it a little tamp just to break up the dry patches. 6 bags of concrete in there, and that thing is set now nice and solid, or it will be once it dries, but it's nice and plumb. Shame it's in the wrong place, but we'll live with that. Right, I am now going to clean up around here and start the process of working out what the next thing is. I might actually take the auger back and get the bucket on the excavator, and maybe start doing a little bit of backfilling down there. We'll have a little think. Well, I've just had a think, and yeah, I've decided. So even though when I look at this, I think it needs an extra two posts put in, an extra section. As you can see there, like an extra 2 posts and an extra section, just sort of tying back into the road there would be really good. This is just getting out of hand with the cost. I mean, I've got to buy a new cutting tooth. I guess that's what you call it for the auger. Got to buy a new cutting tooth now. It's going to be in that sort of $50 region, I would imagine. We're putting in around about between 6 and 8 bags of concrete. So let's say that's $10 a bag. So we might be up to $80 per hole. So it's 160 plus the post. In there, the posts are sort of $30 a piece. So $80, 110, 140, and then 5 beams in there. They're about $20 a piece. So there's $100 there. Way too much for what this is, a little retaining wall. I think I've done the main part. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to live with what's there. If it becomes a major problem in the future, I'll deal with it then, I think. But I've got to kind of call it. I seem to be spending a lot of money on this for what it is, you know what I mean? It's not like I drive up here every single day. It's pretty infrequent to come along here. I just didn't want to be falling off the edge. So it was important that I got the walls in that I got in, but this doesn't need to be perfect. And it's not perfect, so that's okay. Right, I will go grab the excavator bucket, and I'm going to start backfilling a section of this. Right, well, it has started to rain, so I've done a quick tidy up, moved all the tools back into the car, the ones that need to, and moved the car back into the shed out of the rain. And what I'm going to do now, been down, grab the excavator bucket, and you can see the orange line now. I'm going to have to knock, well, I'm not going to have to, I want to knock this corner off, and we'll use most of that dirt in the backfill process as well, where the retaining wall is just down here. So let's start nibbling away at this and create ourselves just, you know, what's that? It's about an extra half a metre, 700 mil, something like that, 2-3 feet. Right, let's knock this down and see how we go. I'm enjoying this. Right, I'm going to move this excavator around, keep going, and I'll bring you guys back when I'm a lot closer to being finished. what an absolute sloppy mess. But as you've seen, I managed to get all that cleared out the way. That's awesome. Give me quite a bit of extra swing room there. Push so much of the dirt down here, but to be honest, I need to get a final retaining wall done, and then we can backfill the rest of the dirt. There's most probably too much there to backfill these two walls, but that's okay, because we'll actually just build up this area here, just give us a little bit of extra height. So kind of from around about there, it'll just be level to the top of the retaining wall. That's quite a bit of dirt to add in, but right now it's just slick as I'm slipping and sliding all over the place in the excavator, and do not want to go sliding off the edge here. So I'm going to call it for today for this job. I got firewood I got to go and load up into the back of the car, and a few other jobs, so I will get on with those. I'll see you next time.